Oh, shit. Hey, everybody, we're going to get started in about 7 minutes. Is that Maria?
Can you hear me?
Barely. Maria,
Yeah.
I think you're showing on as me. Did you sign on as me?
I just used the link you sent out.
That's
It does
weird.
say Gwen Foster. That's bizarre.
Yeah, because you're the only one on as me on the using that same link. That's really weird.
I literally just went to your website or what you sent out. Okay, I'll come back on so I can.
It's all right. You can stay on like that. I think what might have happened is if you ever log into Zoom, you log in like using the username and password, it remembers you.
Which I did.
Yeah, that's why. It's okay because I know when you're talking and when I'm talking.
Okay. I don't know.
Are you on your desktop where you'll be able to show your screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we still have a few minutes. Do you want to cover that one email first? I have another email up that someone asked some questions I wanted to cover.
Yeah, let me go find it first before I share anything.
Okay, I sent it to you in the last hour.
Okay.
We have about 2 more minutes. There's still a lot of people jumping on. Which one do you want to do first, Maria?
Well, if we just go to ATP, we can do the one where she wants to know the loaner stuff.
Okay, well then I'll make you presenter. Well, you might already be able to do that as co-host. Let me see. As a co-host, I think you should be able to share your screen. So whenever you're ready, and I'll start the recording and I'll keep admitting people. It's actually probably good we're both in as co-hosts because we can do things at the same time.
Okay, now it's telling me to join a meeting. Hang on, maybe it's just a glitchy thing. Because I can see you. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's weird. But we're both going to be Gwen. I'm okay with that. That's
Whatever.
an okay thing for me. Okay, so yeah, if you want me to, is there anything else you want me to show on my computer and have ready?
No, because that was in the ATP, you know, I even had a hard time finding that section. So I think it's just a good thing to show people.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. Okay, there's 6 people in the waiting room. I'll put them in really quick.
I can hit admit all and do it.
Oh, I didn't see that. Learn
Yeah,
something new every time I learn something new every time I do this. Okay.
And I'll keep admitting while you're going into that, and then we'll flip.
Okay. Some more. Share screen. Alrighty. Hello, everybody.
I'm going to start the recording, so we'll be ready to go. Oh, it's already recording, so we are ready to go.
Hello, everybody. We're already recording. Okay, one of the questions that came up was people are starting to get their secondary devices and wanting to know how to loan them out, what to do as far as rental agreements, disclaimers, all of that. So we wanted to show you where to find that on the ATP 123 website. So when you come to atp123.com, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, so go all the way to the bottom and you'll see here practitioner information. I don't know if this will eventually need to be a secured area. I don't see why it would be, but for whatever reason that's in here, I think we may move it up because I don't know that it needs to be, you know, where you have to sign in to find the information. So anyway, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see practitioner information. And if you click on that, you can go to several different places. You can go to this Google Drive. Now there's been some people who have put different documents up, which I think are great. So here is like one that's got some rental prices on it. See if it'll open for me. Okay, so kind of shows you what other people might be charging. Here's the rental $55 a day. That looks like it's off on the template part, but you get the idea of what you could start charging. So this is sort of a nice little one here. Just remember too, though, that I'm not doing this. I'm lending out. And then if I don't know the person, I'm taking a $300 deposit. In fact, that my first time doing that will be tomorrow. I pretty much have my warm market has started to turn into a cold market or a referral market from that. And so people are coming in and asking about it. So I have a gal that's coming in tomorrow, and I know her briefly, very little, but I'm gonna ask for a check deposit or to run her credit card for 300, which is the replacement cost if it's lost stolen. The nice thing about Healy is there's serial numbers on the back of the Healy. So if you have somebody that were to swipe it and take it, or if you lose it, all you have to do is contact Healy and give them the serial number and tell them that it's lost or stolen, and they will deactivate that serial number. So that person won't be able to use it with any app, which is great. That just keeps people from being able to swipe stuff. And we just have to be conscious of how we go about making that happen if we ever lose one or someone gets stolen. But tomorrow I will ask for a $300 deposit, either on a credit card or in a check form. And then when I get the Healy back and I know it's running and everything's there, the cables and everything is working, then I will go ahead and either refund that money or I will give her back her check, either way. So that is, that's what I've been doing. And I just sent one out to Las Vegas yesterday. We have 5 different units that we loan out. Now, I was going to do rental until I listened to the Europeans, and they all advocate having some extra units to loan out. And Christian Peters, who's been super successful in everything he's done, multi-level marketing wise, says his 5-step is use the product, become a product of the product, share the product. So let somebody sample the product, and then they will become a customer. And then as they become a customer and they enjoy the product, they will become a member. And then you teach every single person to do the same thing. So we have a great retention rate of sales by allowing people to just use the product. So like the one I sent to Las Vegas, that is a warm market. I know her from years ago. But she has a cat that's ill, and I did some remote stuff for the cat, and she's really impressed. So I said, hey, how about if I put one in your hands? I had emailed her before. I had emailed her several times and she didn't show any interest in the Healy. And now I'm going to be able to put one in her hands that she'll be able to play around with. And I think probably she will end up buying. So, but she has it for a week and then she's going to send it back to me. Okay, that's this template. So that kind of gives you a price range of what people are doing. And you can find that on ATP. It's already there. This one, prerequisite, I haven't looked through all of these specifically because other practitioners have put these up and Chris has gotten them up. So this is a good one, just tells you how to do it, what to do. You can put your stuff here. This is all Word documents, so you can download them and then change them to fit your needs. This one is the rental agreement. This is a little bit more, I don't know, this is a little bit more lawyery than I think my Beamer one was. I may go ahead and redo my Beamer one and put it up here. This is pretty lawyery looking, but again, it's a contract. Probably somebody pulled this off the internet and just made the template and put stuff in there. So, okay. And then this one is for when you're doing actual sessions on people. So you can put down what their top 5 were, what the percent was. And then when you drill down, go down even further. So if you wanted to do that. And then this one, kind of the same thing, just the progression through it. So again, these are not corporate, they're not company, they're not Healy. I mean, I'm sure hopefully somebody sent them to Javier. I don't know that though, that they did. It's basically just what you would use in a clinic format. So I will show you next. Let's see how am I going to do this one? Go back here. There we go. If we go, so this is on that practitioner site. So there's the FDA compliance, and then here's a whole bunch of the studies when you have people that are interested in the science. And then the Healy progress chart. This one is nice. You can show them with your client what they've run each day and what they need to do. So how I would use this is if I was going to send this home with somebody, I would run a resonance on them and I would take those top 5, whatever came up, and then I would break it up that they were going to run something of those every day, but then also include drill down into the gold programs so that they were doing gold programs that were good for them as well. And you could, just check mark what they're going to run. Okay, so that's that. And then I just, oh, there we go. I just got out of it. Okay, so then if when you go to the homepage, when you're back at your homepage and where we were, because there's some people that were just joining in and they didn't know how we got there, scrolled all the way to the bottom and the practitioner information is there. Okay, but right now we're on the homepage. So I want to go to find the disclaimer, which we need to put in that section as well, but it's in your business. And remember, you can get to your business in 2 different places. You can click on it up here, or if you're visual, like we learned this weekend, you can go down and see the picture and you can go to business building here. If you go up to this one, same place, go into your business, then you would just click on the business building button and then scroll down and here's the disclaimer. So let me show what that is. And this just, you can cut this in half. This just gives their signature that this is, you're not trying to treat, cure, anything like that. And they're doing it of their own volition. You're not twisting their arm. You're not slapping electrodes on at gunpoint or anything like that. Plus, this is a way for you to capture information. If you're doing like a Healy booth or you're doing an open house in your clinic or something like that, you can capture information so that you can follow up with people. And so, yeah. So that's there. I think the one thing that I did add is this one, caution, and keep the microcurrent very low if they've ever been electrocuted. And what I've personally learned is if they've been electrocuted to death and they had to be brought back, I don't ever put the electrodes on them. If they want to do that, they can do that in their own home, their own time. But I've actually burned someone before by having the electrodes on their wrist and she got blisters. But she had died at age 7 and they had to revive her. So she stops clocks and she does all kinds of interesting things polarity wise. So if I ask people, have you been electrocuted to death and brought back? And if they've been electrocuted, then we can ask different questions. But this particular gal got in one of the Priuses here in Greeley. She was like the 12th person to ever sit in a brand new Prius here in Greeley, Colorado. And the minute she got in, she put her hands on the steering wheel and all of a sudden the whole dashboard went boom. And she just had to apologize. And of course the salesman was like, oh, you didn't do anything. And she's like, yeah, I kind of did. I kind of did. So, but this would be a good way to capture all that. And you can go in and recreate this if you feel like there's something else that you need to add specific for your business or who you are. I mean, this isn't something that's Healy. This is something that I had for Beamer and I just changed out Healy. I changed out the Beamer name for Healy and basically kept it the same except for the contraindications. So this is just a document that I had worked up for another company and redid it for Healy. Feel free to take the verbiage, add what you want, recreate your own. I just stole a little image from just Google. I just Googled Healy and logos and I just pulled that in. So pretty easy to make. But that's that. So I don't know if there's anything else that we need to, was there anything else that you felt we needed to show on this one, Gwen?
I just unmuted myself. Maybe just leave it open for a minute, because maybe I want this other email with questions, because this is coming up too with the second Healy's, and I wanted these were questions I just actually got today. So I thought, well, I'll just bring them up because maybe you can show an ATP where they might find the answer.
Okay.
Okay, so what's happening is because it has to do with the second Healy again. So someone is making a comment, and I want to say that this is normal, and we've shown this on a Zoom call before. But when you have your Healy, when you've downloaded the app, you have to stay next to your phone for that process, that download to happen. You can't start it and then take a call, or start it and get on YouTube, or start it and walk away. from your phone because it won't finish. And then you're going to think something's not working. So first of all, the download has to be complete, which maybe I can, I don't know if I want to show my screen yet, but so basically that download has to finish. I will demonstrate it in a second. And then if you walk away from your Healy and you're more than like, let's say 5 or 6 feet away, it is normal for it to look like it stopped working, but it hasn't stopped working, because as long as the green light has that steady blink and it's still blinking, it's still running your program. So this is when people are telling me their Healy's not working because they don't understand this is not a technical issue. This isn't something you need to get fixed. This is not something to put in a support ticket on. This is a normal function of the Healy because the Bluetooth signal is not very strong. And so that's one thing. The other thing that I really wanted to bring up out of this question was that a lot of times when you've brought a second Healy into the mix, so you had your first Healy and things were moving along just fine once you figured out the Bluetooth and closing the app. Then you bring in a second Healy, and now all of a sudden you're going to get requested more than before, or maybe it never happened before, to connect to a Healy, and which one. And sometimes you have to let it know, because now at this point it has 2 Healys that you've connected to. And so I don't think that's a dysfunction that it's asking you, and you have to choose the Healy or maybe take a picture of the serial code again. So I wanted to bring that up with Maria on, because to me, that's also not a dysfunction of anything. That's just, now there's 2 Healys, 2 serial numbers, 2 barcodes or whatever that you have in your phone now. And in Healy, the app can see either one. So you're just telling it which one to use. It's just that before you didn't have to. So there wasn't, as far as the programming goes, it wasn't asking anything. It wasn't like that was abnormal. So Maria, you have more than one Healy. You obviously have a bunch, and so do I now. Do you want to add anything to that? Because when some people think that there's something going wrong, I think these are just normal function issues. I mean, not issues, but just normal functioning.
No, it is. I think what I found, it's the most recent one that's saved to your phone if you're trying to connect to that particular Healy. So let's say I've got my Healy and I ran that today, and then I want to grab Steve's Healy because my battery died. Okay, so I grab his, and he has a resonance, but I'm in the pink dot. I'm not going to go into his resonance. I just wouldn't do that, because I would have to transfer his master key. He'd have to okay it from his device. The blue app is really hard to have 2 Healys, 2 resonances on one phone. You have to, unless it's your free unit that you got, which is going to use potentially the same master key. Then again, it's just connect to a different Healy. But in the pink dot, let's say that my battery died on mine, and so it's plugged in, but I really, really want to run this program. Then I would grab his and I would turn it on and turn on the pink dot. Now my phone doesn't have his serial number registered in there. And so now it's looking, search for another Healy, search for another Healy. And so finally it'll find that one and I can click it. Now, the other part of that is that when your other Healy is on the charger and you're too close, you will pick up, I would pick up my Healy. It would want to connect. It would connect with the blue dot or the Bluetooth, and it would start. So I'd have to like go away to be able to have my phone recognize his Healy. And then I would take a picture of the back serial number so that my phone and the cloud would recognize that serial number. And then I would have to populate, because it would just show, it's like starting all over again. It would just show the one blue program with the settings and the language. I'd have to hit settings, hit check for updates, so that would auto populate all of the programs that he has on his Healy. So again, like Gwen said, it's not a Healy issue. It's literally just trying to get your phone to read whatever that Healy is that you're trying to do. So when we've done Healy show and tells, and we have several of them, there was one time I had to walk outside and around the barn just to get a signal that wasn't taking any of the other Bluetooth. So I had to literally walk outside and go capture this Healy so I could run it on someone else. It's possible to do it. It is kind of a pain, but that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
And I want to compare that to something, because that's a lot like when you have multiple cars and your phone is used to connecting to different cars, and then you get into a car, you've had a rental car, and then you've had your car, and then the Bluetooth doesn't connect, and then you're trying to get your phone on the Bluetooth and the car. It's the very same problem. is that between your phone and the cars, they're confused on what are you doing? What car are you in? You know, and sometimes you have to stop. And I've had to do this in my car several times where I've had to delete it completely, go back in and connect. And so that's also that's just still a thing of your phone trying to figure out what device you're in. I've even had to turn my phone off completely and turn it back on, turn my car off, basically reset both and then have them connect and get the new number. So I think that that's just a thing to understand how Bluetooth works. I'm going to show walking away from my Healy because we've shown this before, which brings up another question. The same person, and this comes up every single day I get this email. So I hope there's a lot of people on the call tonight. So I hope everybody gets this, is that every time we do these Zoom calls, every single time, I think there was only one time that it didn't record, or I said something that later I didn't want to send out on a recording. Every single week, these are recorded. Every single week, I send them out by newsletter. Now, this is what happens. I can see on Constant Contact, like what percentage of people open the email, and it's like 40%, 45%. And then I get a bunch of emails every single week, like let's say 20 to 100 of people saying, I want the Zoom link. I couldn't get on the call Tuesday night. You have to go to my newsletters. I cannot send everyone the link individually. So for the people that are asking me, you know, where do I find the replays are not stored somewhere. They will be eventually. Maria and I are working on our own website page for that in YouTube. But for the time being, I send them out to you guys automatically. So tonight's call will be sent out. It's always within a day or two. So if you go find those emails, all those Zoom links are in there. They don't expire for 6 months. So if you're on the call tonight and you've been on the email list, now you wouldn't have got the recordings if you weren't on my email list prior to a week or two ago. So you want to make sure and hold on to those and don't delete those emails, because that's where the Zoom links are. And they're in there every single week. And I'll say, yeah, we forgot to record. I think that's only happened twice, like since June. So be sure and keep those, because that's how you get the replays. And in a very short time, once we recover from the workshop, we will be having the YouTube channel up where you. Yeah.
Once we recover, I love that. Once we recover.
Like my house is not recovered.
Well, I went straight from the webinar to a 3-year-old. So I told Gwen, I'm like, I'm kind of toast. Like,
I know well, we're going to go into that and brush on my screen. In fact, I think a lot of you on the call tonight might have been in the workshop. You guys want to share any kind of, we've had so many amazing things of aha moments or little things that people have already figured out, their constitution or their color. I've had probably the most I've heard is about the t-shirt. I've seen a lot of comments with people that tell me what their t-shirt says, or they've said they had just an incredible awareness or clearing with the t-shirt technique. Either tonight or in the morning, I'll be sending out the replays of the videos. But if you'd like to go into the chat and say, not a whole dissertation necessarily, but just a comment if you were on the workshop and you want to let other people, know anything about your experience, we would appreciate that, because I've already sent out the link that people, I think I did, or it's coming, the link about, if they didn't attend it live, they can still participate in the workshop, which we're recommending. We thought it was awesome. We had such good fun and feedback. And I mean, it's not even like work, right? It's like, Maria and I are always like cracking each other up because we're like,
the only work was 10 PowerPoints. That was work, but that's just organizing and getting everything straight. And that's because I'm a perfectionist and a blue, and I like color and sound. So there you go. Like,
yeah,
all those things.
The prep was work, but the rest of it, to me, the teaching part wasn't work. And we were rewarded, just with your feedback and the great comments that we got. And we got some constructive comments too. So those are always good.
Right.
Some people had asked, I got a few, or one in particular, but another one that kind of alluded to, it'd be nice if it would have been 2 weekends. And I, just to be able to process, and Maria and I actually had a pretty good few discussions about this, about, getting people to commit to 2 weekends versus 3 days. And we really thought it out, plus with the holidays and Thanksgiving. So we did what we did, but that's also the good part about you guys having the recordings, is that any part where you started feeling overwhelmed, and when I was talking about German New Medicine and I said I totally tuned out myself during that certification, and when I had to go back and listen to the recorded version, I get you. And sometimes you have to check out and then come back and go to, that point. But anyway, we're going to be sending the follow-up information. Maria sent a thing today for everyone that participated on the prosperity, the follow-up, and I'm going to be sending the recordings and all the, we've already revised the documents and stuff like that. So you guys are going to get that in the next 24 hours if you had participated.
So I'm seeing someone in the chat had to leave because she thought all we were going to talk about was secondary Healy's and advanced healing on others. And we might just want to just start at the top and just start answering questions all the way down. We've got a little over an hour because we were going to, because we were going to go 90 minutes.
Yeah. But, okay, wait, before we do that though, let's get into the Misha on my screen, because we need to get past that too.
Okay. And then I think we just need to hit the chat and just start answering questions for people.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Okay, so let me go and make myself, you're gonna have to stop sharing, I think.
Stop share, yes.
And then that should let me, it's weird, it won't let me show my screen.
Do I need to do something on you?
Maybe you might have to make me presenter or something. That's weird. Usually I can do it myself.
It won't even let me click on you. Usually when I click on you, I can get something, but it won't let me.
Huh.
And I stopped sharing. Let me see what happens if I.
Oh, here, maybe I can just do it. So I don't understand. Just, will you repeat that last comment that the lady said? Were you saying that?
Oh, she thought we were just going to talk about second Healy's, people who had second Healy's, and it was Debbie. I'm not sure what her name was. So I feel bad that I didn't jump in. I tried to catch her before she left, but she'd already left the room.
I have a friend who's trying to get into the meeting.
I don't see. Oh, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It for whatever reason it was at the top and then it didn't show. So I just clicked. Come on in, Bonnie. Hopefully she's joining.
I'll tell her to try again.
Okay.
On my end, it says she's joining, but she hasn't connected yet. So maybe she has slow internet. Maria, can you see my screen?
I cannot see your screen.
Okay, let me try again. Yeah, but in the announcement for tonight, we didn't say we were going to talk about second Healy's, so I don't know who that was.
I think it was just that we were talking about having a second Healy. That was the first thing. That's the first thing we covered after I think she just thought maybe that was all it was about. And we know that it's going to go in random places because that's who we are. We're Healy people.
That's right. Okay, so first of all, let's cover this because this is the kind of the thing I was trying to allude to. Let me just download something different. So if I want to do activation, let's say, during this part right here is when you can't do anything else. If you get interrupted or if you walk away from your Healy, it's not going to work and you're going to think something didn't work. So don't take a phone call. Don't respond to a text. Don't go check. Don't go do anything. Just wait for this to finish. It usually takes less than a minute. And while this is happening, the light on the Healy, if you can see me anymore, it's a flashing, it's a quick green light flashing. And that means it's downloading. And when it finishes downloading, it goes into a steady green flashing instead of the fast green flashing. Okay, now I'm gonna let this start. I'm not connected to it. So you're going to see the black line and then I'm going to walk away from my Healy and you're going to see that it's going to look like it's not working anymore, but my green light on my Healy will continue to work. And I may actually just walk outside real quick. I mean, it's maybe 10 feet or more, but like if I run to the restroom, it definitely disconnects. We'll see how far I have to go to make it not connect. at some point the Bluetooth is going to say, oops, we don't see the Healy anymore on the Bluetooth, but that doesn't mean there it goes. So I'm at least 30 feet from my Healy right now. I actually walked outside. So that doesn't mean the Healy stopped. It just means that the Bluetooth couldn't find it anymore because I went too far away, and the Healy signal on the Bluetooth is not a really super strong one, but neither is the one on your car. If you walk too far away from your car, it's not working through your Bluetooth system there either. So once I come back to the Healy, so I'm next to it again. If I hit connect, it'll go back to where I left off. But the Bluetooth has to connect again, so you have to be patient and give it a second. I'll just sit here. And then we're going to go into the advanced function that we mentioned over the weekend. Plus, it's always a good reminder to know how to do the custom, whatever you want to do on the Healy on the Bluetooth app. Now, sometimes this happens, where it just doesn't seem to reconnect. And if that happens, what I do is I'll go back and close that, and I'll hit the pink dot again, because it's just like it's not talking. You kind of wake it up again. And then if I go back in, it shows where I left off. Okay, so that's normal.
Do you have another Healy there?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have it turned on.
because that would be, we could show,
Somebody's
because
in
right
the
now,
waiting room.
right now you're kind of doing what people are saying.
I know, but I'm saying that's normal. And I'm saying that's how to fix it is you just go back and reconnect to your pink dot app.
Yeah,
I mean, that happens for me every time I walk away from my Healy.
right.
So I'm just trying to say this is normal. This isn't a support ticket or don't send me an email that it's not working.
Gotcha.
Doesn't that happen with you too, Maria?
Well, like when I'm going from one to the other, then it forces me to go find it. I was just didn't know if we wanted to show that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get into that right now, because I don't know if the other one is charged. And then Lindsay's been taking one home with her. So what I'll do is when I show you, after I show the blue dot thing and we get into the questions, I'll make sure the other one's charged and we'll show switching from one to the other.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and I'm going to swipe up to close the pink dot app. So now I'm not have anything running on Healy. My Healy just turned off, which is what it's supposed to do. That's actually the right way to turn it off. Now I'm going to go into the blue dot app. I'm going to turn back on my Healy.
Kim asked, why would one need a second Healy? Well, you might have a partner or a child or a mother or whatever that you wanted to go ahead and give them that second Healy. We have, between Steve and I, he's got a resonance and I have a resonance, and we have 5 other Healys that, we just, how many do I have in the drawer here? I have 2. I have 2 here. One is going to the lady that I just talked about. She's coming in tomorrow. And then I have another one that I need to find somebody that wants to try it. The other 3 are out with just test drive for a week. And we're going to be gone over the Thanksgiving weekend. So the gal tomorrow is coming to get one, and she's going to have it for her family for a whole entire week. Free. I don't charge for that. She's going to take it and use it. And I'm sure she'll come back and she'll want one. So why you might want a second Healy is if you're building a business and you might want to put that in the hands of other people so that they can experience it. Or if you have someone else in your family, you join as a Healy member and you purchase a resonance. If you sell 3 within that first 30 days, then you get a free resonance, and then you can then offer that to a family member.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go very slow, because this is usually where people want us to do this like 10
And
times.
tell us what because we can't see your finger. So the one thing I hear people is we can't tell what you're touching. So tell us beforehand what you're going to touch.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to click on Eddie. actually, I'm going to show you a few things, but I'm going to click on Eddie. And then I'm clicking on record aura. And then I'm clicking on analysis. I always say it's 3 times, but analysis, and now start analysis, and then start analysis. It's 3 times you got to click that hot pink button to get to what we want to get to. So the point of what we're trying to show right here is we're trying to get right here where the little pencil is, because that pencil makes this an editable field. So if I hit the pencil, then I can go up here and go where the word red is, and I can override. I don't care what this says. I'm not trying to look at the aura. This has nothing to do with aura. I'm trying to show you guys how to put in a custom field. And this question came up a lot over the weekend in the advanced workshop. So we wanted to show everybody, because this question comes up a lot anyway when people figure out they can do this. So let's just say I want to send my doggy love. Like, I just want to do something. Now, today I had a client that was a Healy person, and red chestnut showed up on her. And she goes, well, but if I go to Bach, red chestnut may not show up as the top thing. Red chestnut is specifically for peace of mind. So if I want to send red chestnut to me or my client or my dog or whoever, I can just type in red chestnut, and then I'm clicking on the check mark in the upper right-hand corner. And then I vibrate for 1minute, 20 seconds, because that's what I always do. And now I'm sending red chestnut along with whatever other aura stuff is in there. I don't really care what else is in there. It's not going to hurt. I could go through and clear all that stuff out, but you guys know I'm lazy. I'm not going to go and do all that. Now, I'm not going to go clean it up because I don't care. I mean, it can only help because those things showed up on him too. But
Yeah, because they're all balanced. They're all balancing anyway. Everything that showed up was for a balancing for Eddie anyway.
Exactly.
You're just adding to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So let's just say I'm going to stop this. And then let's just say I want to go to, no, not there. Hold on. Let me go back out. And let me go here. So now let me pick up Eddie. Wait, no, sorry. I'm going to go to home and go to lists. And then
so home is the little house at the bottom icon where there's the little house. That's home, or that's the home button for clients and lists. So that's where she went.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go, let me find it. Okay. You see the one that's pink? That's today's date. That's the one I just did for Eddie. And if I swipe left, so my thumb is over the pink line. So if I swipe left, I can rename this and I can override those letters. So I'm just putting my cursor basically where I want, and I'm going to call this red chestnut, because if you create something really awesome, like a manifestation statement or an intention statement or something, and you want to keep using it, and you don't want to go type it in every day, then you want to have this in the list because it'll show up in the history. And then when I go out and back in, I don't have to do the custom thing again. I just go and pick this. So that's basically, I mean, this can be like anything. This can be literally like a homeopathic remedy. This can be your constitutional remedy and homeopathy in the advanced course over the weekend. This can be your something you want to reinforce your t-shirt, your new t-shirt, your, I know if you didn't take the course, you have no idea what we're talking about, but what we're saying is in that open field, when you go to the editable field, you can literally put in there anything you want, an affirmation, a manifestation statement, an herb, a product that you buy at Sprouts. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's anything, we talked about this weekend, every way to use a remedy. Write it, send it, broadcast it, imprint it. That's what we're suggesting. So you can use this way to get that remedy from point A to point B. And it's very simple. And if you want me to do it again, Maria?
I think it would be helpful because I know in my resonance, I have Maria's prosperity. My grandson is Klaus. I have Klaus's skin, because I have, remedies for that in there. And then my daughter-in-law, she works at a hospital. So we do her crown. it just says Dakota crown chakra, because that was a really good resonance that showed up for her. Because she's got to just sort of, keep her wits about her working in the hospital. So I have, several of those, and they always show up at the very bottom of my list so that I can just go to it, and they're always in pink, and they're renamed. So I know exactly where they're at. So I think this is super helpful, because that way, if you have a scan that you're like, oh my gosh, all of these Bach flower remedies are so me, and they show up a lot, like agrimony shows up for me a lot. And so, putting that in something where you can just go to that and run it, and you're not having to do the scan and then vibrate it. You just go right to your lists and it's there. So I think it's super helpful for people. And especially like Gwen, with you, we did your house, and well, actually we did Houston, I think, during the hurricane.
I'm actually gonna do a house tonight too. Someone from the workshop sent me an example to use because she wanted to know how to do a family as a group. So I'm gonna show how to do that too. So I'm gonna do this one more time, and then I'm gonna do something different. So, okay, this is the
Perfect.
beginning. You're on this screen. I just clicked on the heartbeat, the little pulse sign at the bottom. And then I'm gonna click on, my fingers touching where it says aura analysis. And this time, let's use Lindsay. Lindsay does her own stuff now, but anyway, I'm clicking on record aura. And then remember, you got 3 hot pink buttons to touch. Okay, so I'm touching analysis. And now I'm touching start analysis. I don't care what any of it says. I'm not reading any of it. I do not care. I'm hitting start analysis again. All I'm trying to do is get to the pencil. So you have to hit your hot pink buttons 3 times. And this is where some people get mixed up because they go, I don't see it. Now you see right now on the screen, you don't see it. The pencil is not there. And this is what messes with some people. All you have to do is scroll slightly up, and there it is. You see, it wasn't there because the description was long. All you have to do is, I use my thumb to scroll up on the page, and then I'm going to click on the pencil, and then let's just send her happiness. Sometimes she's kind of grouchy. Okay, so I'm going to do happiness, and I'm going to put the check mark, and I saved it. Now I'm going to vibrate it, and I always use the default. People ask me a million questions about this too, and I don't know how many times Maria and I have said we use the default because it's in there for a reason. I don't personally think 20 minutes or 18 hours is better than 1 minute. And when you're talking about information and space and time and universal will, it doesn't matter. You can do 5 seconds and it's the same. And if you think about homeopathy, 1 drop is the same as 20 drops as far as the remedy goes. So if you think of drops like minutes, there's no difference.
Alicia
Okay.
asked, what do you put in the desired state and the present state, and what's the difference? It's whatever you want to put. It's whatever just put anything in, anything positive that you want to send. You can put your present state as I'm not happy and I want to be happy, but I don't ever want to send myself, I'm not happy. So I always put positive stuff in there. So I just do it that way. And then
I do the same
Karen,
thing. I don't send positive, negative stuff.
yeah, and then Karen wanted to know too, is there any way of saving the lists in order, or no, there isn't. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just have to, there's no way to save the scans that you do in a numeric order or anything like that categorized.
Okay, so now I'm going to hit the home button. This is to name it. And now I'm going to go to lists. So I clicked on list, and now we have the pink one that's Lindsay. My finger is going to the right of that, like on where it says Lindsay and it's pink, and it's all the way to the right. And I'm going to swipe left, which gives me some new options. I'm going to click rename. And then I'm going to put my cursor above that serial number or date or whatever that is. And I'm going to type, oh no, sorry, it was happiness. So if I ever want to give her a little boost. Now in the real world, I mean, I'm just showing you easy examples, but in the real world, it would be a remedy I came up with. Like today I had another appointment with someone in Spain, and his top remedy was Rue de Grave, which is a great kidney remedy. So if that was the remedy, I would have type in Rue de Grave and then save and rename. And then that way he can always go to that remedy. And that's really what you want to do if it's something that you want to take every day for a while to try to get yourself back in balance. Over the weekend, we talked about like me being sepia as far as my homeopathic constitution. Well, I can do myself, put in sepia, and then I don't have to take the remedy. I don't have to buy the remedy. I can just do it this way. But you want to have a systematic way, and all you have to do is do this once or 2 or 3 times, and it's easy. It's just that this question comes up a lot, how to do this, because it doesn't maybe seem easy. I want to show another example, Maria, that came up from the workshop, because I wanted to save it start to finish on how to do this. So this lady was in the workshop. She gave me permission to use her family. So here's her cute family and here's her house. So if you want to work on a family or a house, you can do both. But the first thing you do is, once you get the photo from a text, so this is something some people don't even know how to do. All you have to do to save a picture to your phone. Now, I have an iPhone, so I'm not sure on Android, but if I want to pick this picture and then I want to save it to save the image, see right down there on the bottom, it says save image. That's going to save it to my camera roll. And if I want to do her house, it's like forwarding it, but you're just, I mean, sometimes you can click on it.
Are you just putting your finger on the screen and holding it and that comes up?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that doesn't happen on an Android, at least not on mine.
I just put my thumb on the picture. It comes up and you see the save. I already saved it, but every phone's different, but y'all should know how to get a picture from text to your camera roll, because in Healy, you can't go from Healy to your text. You can't grab it that way. So you have to get it to your camera roll first. And so if someone also sends you a text of a picture they want you to work on, you have to get it to your camera thing first, because look, now I go to my camera and this is now my pictures and they're in my pictures now, but you have to get it here, because if you don't get it here, you can't do what I'm about to show you. So however that is for your phone, you can Google how to save a picture on my Android or whatever kind of phone you have. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Blue Dot app, because this is really how to load a client. If I want to go here to clients and you see it says add new client. Well, if I want to do a group, a family can be a group. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Now, that's where you hit the plus sign, and they're not here. I can't take a picture of them. So I have to choose from my gallery, and then I can choose their picture right there. So I'm just going to adjust it with my thumb to where they're in the little bubble here and click choose. And then there's not a date of a foundation. I'm just going to say the name is Susan. I can say Cameron family or Susan Cameron family. In fact, I'm going to say Cameron family. Just like on the house, I would say Cameron house. Okay, so with the picture and the name, that's all I need. So I'm going to hit check mark. The client's been saved. Yes, I have their consent. Do I want to perform a new analysis now? Yes. So now when I'm running a scan on, like, let's say Bach, which is one place I would definitely go, this is choosing a Bach remedy for this family. So this is like, a family can be a group, it can be a weight loss group, it can be a support group, it can be your business, your team members at work, it can be your employees if you're the boss, it can be the advanced healing workshop group. That's not how I did it, but that is a way to do it. I mean,
it could be all three of your businesses, or if you've got 4 businesses or whatever, you could put all of your businesses in there as a group.
Right. So it can literally be anything. So again, think outside the box, think what's the best way to do things. So agrimony is the top remedy for this family. So this is about, any kind of worries and problems, but kind of trying to make things seem like everything's fine, but everything's not fine. This remedy shows up on me a lot too, where you got a lot of stuff going on and you're trying to keep it together. And on the outside, you're trying to be normal. And on the inside, you're going, well, crap, I got this to do and this to do and this to do and this to do. And then you get an appointment and you're trying to seem normal and you don't really feel normal. That's
I feel like it should say agrimony/Maria next to that, because it just comes up on me all the time. I'm like, there you go. Oh my goodness.
I know, but it's funny. It's not funny, but it is funny, because then if I want to do an action, then I would vibrate this remedy to this family. So, that's easy, because you just take the default. Then it's getting the top 5 anyway, and it's going to scroll through those top 5. Okay, so I'm going to stop it, because that's basically how you do it. It's very simple. I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to go back to clients. And I'm going to show you how to add the house. So now I want to do house, but it doesn't say house. So what would a house be? It would be a building. So I'm going to click on the word building. I'm going to go to the plus sign up in the little empty image up there, because there's no image. I'm going to, well, you see the house picture did not save. So I've got to go back to her text. I mean, it's no big deal. I'm going to go to her text. I'm going to scroll back up. I thought I saved it, but it didn't for some reason. I'm going to save. I got to go back to Healy. I usually do this first, but it didn't take for some reason. Still not taken. Let me start over and see. Doesn't like that house picture. See, sometimes there's just
I wonder if it's attached. I wonder if it's attached to the other one too.
She sent it as 2 separate pictures.
Okay, it should be single then.
Yeah, let me just go back to my camera, because see on my camera it's here. Well, a bunch of times, but Healy's not seeing it for some reason, but I'm going to go back.
Go ahead and just click add picture and see if it comes up when you go into your gallery full. Because it might be in an album opposed to a photo. It might have created an album because she sent those
Right, and sometimes it's sent on the date that she took it, not the date you received it.
Oh. Well.
You can screenshot it.
Yeah,
and then you'll
screenshot
have
it.
an
Can you do?
immediate.
There it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did, is it put it
Yep.
on a different date. Okay, yeah. So good tip there. Usually when I do it, I don't have to go searching for it. It's just right there in the end, but let's, there it is. So I'm going to choose, I hit choose, and then the name of this is going to be Cameron House. It's really the picture it's going by, though. I could add the latitude and longitude if I want, but I don't have the address. I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay, so let's talk about that really quick. How you find the longitude and latitude is you literally go to Google and you type into search longitude and latitude, and it will take you to a list. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a list of different places that you can go, websites you can go, where you can plug in the address and it will give you the longitude and latitude. So again, you just go to Google, type in longitude, latitude, and it'll give you places where you can go to put that address in.
Yeah, that's right.
And then that's where you'd put, if Gwen scrolled down a little bit again, you'd see where it says longitude and latitude, longitude.
Yeah, and that is what I would do. I'm just showing you the quick way, but once, and also I think that goes by the picture more than anything. So once you have all that in there, I can hit the check mark,
right,
and save this. Yes, I have consent. Yes, I'm going to do an analysis. So let's do something like double cool here. Okay, I'm going to go to aura analysis. I'm going to do something custom for this house. Okay, so my Healy is turned off because I haven't done anything in a while, and I went back and forth probably. Okay, so now it's going to go. And depending on your internet, sometimes that takes longer for other people. I have really fast internet here, but some people don't. Okay, remember 3 hot pink things. So I'm going to click analysis, click start analysis, and then click start analysis again. That may not go so quick if you have slow internet, so it might take a few minutes. Now, once it finishes, remember, scroll up and find that pencil. I'm going to touch the pencil. Now, if I were in the workshop this weekend, or if you guys want to just do something like you're trying to sell this house, let's say, you could say, my house at blah, 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 blah address sells for $420,000 easily with no hiccups, or with easily with a pre-approved loan in the next 30 days by December 31st, 2020. I could type all that right there.
Or
If I
Grabavoy
want-
numbers or anything that you learned in the seminar, you can put, you could even put essential oils coming to this house. You could put joy, you could put abundance, you could put, anything that you have that you can write that in there. You can put your Grabavoy numbers, you can put your OHMS numbers for trust and safety and security. You can do all of that.
Exactly. I'm
'Cause
going to put love and
you can go,
happiness.
yeah, and you
Go
can
ahead.
go into, you can tap, if Gwen were to tap where it says the themes of the sacral chakra are perceived as harmonious, if she taps there, she can exit out of that text completely and then write something completely new. So this opens up that whole thing for you to be able to just change anything and everything you want on it. It just gives
Yeah.
you a lot of really good availability to broadcast for people and things.
Yeah, and this building could be your office building, and you could say this office is super successful. Everybody's highly motivated. You could put in a lot of things to support a hospital, an office building, your house, your farm, your barn, your whatever. So be open-minded about what you can use as a building. Now, once I have in there what I want, I'm going to click the check mark. And once I vibrate, now this is sending love and happiness to this address. I haven't worked with her personally, so I don't really know what they're trying to accomplish with the family in the house. I'm just trying to show you how to load them. And then you can either through the weekend stuff or whatever you know about yourself or whatever you're working on with yourself, make it a manifestation or intention statement and throw it in there and then send. And then remember, the last step is then go back to home, go back to lists, and now I have the Cameron house. Oh shit, I didn't mean to, sorry, I didn't mean to say this. Didn't mean to cuss
When?
either. I didn't mean to. Okay, so this is what I would say if I was by myself. Okay, so then swipe left.
We're a little punch drunk, you guys, just knowing, just gotta say it.
And actually, yeah, so rename. And again, go over that, because if you don't rename it, then you're going to be looking for it later going, I know I did that. Where is it? So, I mean, I keep saying love and happiness because I use those a lot, but you could put anything in there. Anything that you know about the family, if there's some kind of strife, if there's some kind of something, but you want to put it in the comment, in the present tense and in a positive way. And so now I have these custom things. So whether it's the family, whether it's the house, they're all easy to load. And what I was thinking, Maria, I can stop screen share for a minute. That's what I wanted to cover. Do you want me to show anything else on the Blue Dot app?
I think what we need to do is we just need to start answering questions, because we're gonna hit our hard stop time and we won't have answered questions. So I think that's probably enough for this segment, because we've got questions about all of that. So I think
Okay.
we just kind of start.
So next week, we'll
chat.
make sure and have 2 Healys or 3 Healys ready to go, and we'll go in and out showing all that stuff. So I agree with you. We do have a hard stop today at 6:30, so we have about 35 minutes. So do you want to read them or do you want me to read them?
Well, we need to go. I'm going to go back up to the top and let's just start. Hello, everyone. Okay, we don't have to go back that far. How often should you rescan a person? At what point is it recommended to run the deep cycle? Can you explain further what it is meant to do the bioenergetic boost, bioenergetic support program shows? So I don't scan myself every day. I do about every, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 days. When I first got my resonance, I was scanning every day because I was so excited about it. Now I kind of, after having the watch, I kind of recognize that, it sort of gives you a really nice thing and you can sort of spread it out. So I don't scan all the time, but you certainly could. You could scan yourself every day and find out what your top priority is. I just always try to get some gold programs in there. What about you, Gwen? Do you scan every day?
Nope, I only scan when I need something. Like
Okay.
if I'm having a bad day, I'll scan them. And if I think I need to look at something, but almost don't do, I don't even know if I do it once a week on myself.
I wouldn't start the deep cycle until you've had your Healy for a little while, although sometimes it does show up in the scan if you do. And I've had people do that when it showed up in the scan with no negative repercussions. So, But I think if it's not showing up in your resonance scan when you're scanning yourself, I would wait a couple of weeks before you start doing the deep cycle, and then start it in the progression that it says with application 1 and then 2 and then 3. Anything else you want to say on that one, Gwen?
No, that's good.
Can you explain further on the bioenergetic boost in a very roundabout way? It's for viruses, something current that we have in our midst. Not going to say the name of it, but that's kind of, it came out in June. Healy put that out in June, and they've all but said it was for that in all of their talks. So it has shown up for me a lot. My daughter showed up with COVID and I came out negative, but it has, every time I've run a scan on me, it's shown up as one of my top 4. So when it shows up, I run it, and it's just really good for just balancing the immune system and giving us some good juju.
And I use it when I'm tired.
Okay. Okay.
So tired, I go to the Pink Dot app and I do bioenergetic boost if I've had a night that I didn't get enough sleep, or if I just have a super long day, and it really helps me get through. I haven't been sick since I've had the Healy, so I haven't had a chance to use it for a virus.
Okay, this is going to be an involved one. A person in great pain, he fell years ago, had metal rods in his spine, metals fused to his spine in the wrong positions and are protruding. He is in agony all the time, but he has a pacemaker, body thermal state out of sync, and his skin body heats up easily. Is it safe for him to use the Healy without the electrodes, considering all of his health issues? I would be running it on me personally.
Me
You
too.
know? Yeah. Boy, I would do the scan on him and then start and just, 15%, 5%. You could even start at 5%, just something, just to get something into his information field. I would vibrate the blue app, but then also go into the Pink Dot with whatever the program shows that he needs. Go into the Pink Dot and don't hook him up to the cables. Just have the Healy in his presence, anywhere from 5 to 15%. If someone has a cochlear implant, can they wear the electrodes? I haven't heard anything about that, Gwen. Have you? I haven't heard a negative on that one.
No, I haven't either.
Okay. We can't get the master key to load onto our new Healy without with the separate pad. You have to have the master key opened up and saved to a file in the device. So if you've just emailed the master key from the main account to the iPad and it's just sitting in there, Healy probably won't find it. The cloud probably won't find it. You literally have to open up the email and save the file, the JSON file, to your internal filing system, whatever you have, whether it's iPad or an Android. So try that and have it available that way and see if that helps. Can you repeat that? The free Healy from the Fast Start. We have the same master key of the first Healy I purchased. What were we talking about? Can you repeat that? The free Healy. The free Healys, I'm pretty sure, have the same master key. So you just have to, if you're going to have your second one, it's hard to run 2 resonances. It's hard to run 2 resonances if you have 2 different master keys. So like the free one that I have, I would be able to bring that blue app up on my phone and run that Healy, but it's going to ask me to redo everything because it's seeing it as a different one. I'm going to have to, I think in the blue app, you can click where it says, find another Healy. I haven't done that yet because I don't have the free one on my phone because I'm lending it out. Somewhere down below, someone asked, what do you do with the blue app when you're lending it out? I never have them download the blue app ever. They only download the pink app and that's all they're running, because I don't want to have somebody have it for a week and they've never experienced the Healy before and then try to give them training in an hour. I just want them to download the pink app. I get to show them all the beautiful programs they have, be like Vanna White, all the beautiful programs they have, and then show them how to run it, how to get in it. And that's enough for a week. If they can just master that, then they might be more inclined to go, what else can this do? But I never have them download the blue app to try to do the resonance scan for a loaner. Are you loaning any out, Gwen?
No, I cannot even keep up with my desk, much less keep up with where my so no.
Okay, where are the forms you were discussing that you showed where you could enter client info? That was on atp123.com. and then you scroll to the very bottom of any of the pages where it says practitioner information. So ATP 123, scroll to the bottom and see practitioner information. Free Healy question, person paid a second person to order her Healy. She paid her by check. Okay, what's the get to the horn here? We sent the free Healy to the first person. Wonder if the same master key. Yes, potentially that same master key is for both. And that's why it says that you have to okay it from the first device. The first device. So if I were to load the second Healy on a different device, that second device would ask, download your master key. And of course, then I have to go into my phone and I have to okay it, but it'll show up in there that my iPad is now wanting to access that master key. It's pretty cool how they intertwine, but it also is confusing, and it's unfortunate that it's confusing, but that you have to okay it from that first device, no matter where that first device is.
And if they want to handle it, they need to send in a support ticket. Like if you are trying to, like, this has been a question that comes up a lot. You got the second Healy, you want to give it to your son, you want to give it to somebody, you want to sell it to somebody. That's a support ticket. They have to create a Healy account. Then you have to let Healy know the serial number and the new person's username and email, so that they can untangle them, because otherwise they are going to have the same master key. And that question comes up a lot since the free ones went out.
Yeah, and if a practitioner has one and they got a free one and they're giving that away to a family member, or they're going to sell it, the potential is that new person will see their entire client list. So they definitely has to be switched out. Someone's saying my second Healy is not working correctly. I put in a support ticket 6 days ago and have not heard from them. 6 days isn't enough time for Healy. Sorry.
I have a question though about the Healy. So the
Sure.
problem with my secondary Healy is that the light never goes off. And then I'll take it out after a day and it'll say 99% charge. So I'll use it. And then and it says 99% charge, and it'll just die in 5 minutes. It'll just die. And then I have to, try it again. And once in a while it works, once in a while it doesn't work. So this Healy's battery or something is off.
Yeah, that sounds like, have you tried charging it overnight?
Oh yeah, no, I've done that several times.
Have you tried charging it on a different charger, different cord?
No.
Try that. Just see. There might be something with the mechanism before you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had people
How
use a
long
different.
do you have to wait to hear back from them?
Excuse me, did you do a hard reset?
No.
I
might work,
had the
yeah.
same problem. I just did a hard reset and recharged it, and it resolved the problem.
Well,
So-
I don't know how to do a hard reset.
Hold the button down until the green light comes back on solid. So
The power button.
yeah, just the power button. Just hold
Oh.
it down.
Yeah.
15 seconds, 20 seconds until the light comes back on. Thank you for that. I don't know who was talking, but yay.
I'm
Oh,
glad
great.
actually to hear that. I've been having this issue for the last week, and sometimes I have to hard reset twice a day. I'm not complaining. I just need to keep running, and I just found a way how to get around and let it go back to run the Healy. But this is definitely not as it should be. I'm so
No,
glad
it isn't.
same issue people have. I haven't complained. I haven't mentioned anybody. This is the first time, and I haven't submitted any ticket. I just want to run as I don't have time for anything. I know over the time, all the issues will be solved, but it's really good to know. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
thank you so much. Appreciate
All right,
that.
thank you, guys.
Resetting absolutely makes sense. And sometimes I have to even charge like for 15 minutes because it shows on a pink dot I have 90%, which is full speed of batteries. But sometimes after resetting, I have to kind of like charge maybe for 10, 15 minutes and it's going back. There's so many
All right.
little things.
And I'll try that other cord. I'll try the other cord.
Try that. That worked for someone else too that I
All right,
had.
thank you so
And
much.
I also noticed that there, go to settings once you get back on from your reset and look for upgrades.
Okay,
Because I found I had upgrades as well.
okay.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
could add one more thing. Vanessa Skidmore, she looked up in the book, and for you to do a hard reset, you're supposed to have it on the charger to do
Yeah,
that.
she did find that in there
Oh, have it on the charger.
while you
Yes,
do the hard
Oh,
reset.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I'll chime in and say
It's
that
very interesting
wait,
when you.
hold on. When the other thing about your battery is that when you finish downloading to the Healy, if you close your phone app, it will not continue to run once that program finishes. So if you walk away or you fall asleep,
Right,
that battery is being used up. So if you close your phone app after it's transmitted the download of the pink dot app,
yeah.
then as that program finishes, because I charge my Healy about once a week because I always am closing it. It's never just sitting there idle being turned on because it is staying on if you don't close the app.
No, I close the app all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
And I
use an
just
old
wanna-
Go
I
ahead.
just want to add, when you restart a Healy, and what somebody just mentioned from Vanessa, you have to charge it. When you charge it, as soon as you charge the Healy, the green light goes on. That means that's what is a little bit confusing, how you can restart it when the green light is on constantly when you put it in charge in.
Because you're holding the button down until the light goes off and then back on. And it's somewhere between like 15 to 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. When you charge it, it's always on.
I
know.
haven't tried to do a hard reset while it's
Yeah.
been on the charger, so I don't
Yeah,
know
I've never
exactly
done that.
what it does.
I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you charge it when it's on the I mean, when you do a hard reset when it's on the charger, you'll notice that it'll just slightly flicker at about 10 or 15 seconds. You can see a little bit of a change. So then you know
Awesome.
you've done the hard reset. And
Yay.
sometimes you can do a hard reset when it's on the charger and sometimes off, and sometimes doing it a couple times, then your battery
Okay.
will be doing much better.
Thanks, Noni. I've not tried that, so thank you.
Mhm.
Can you use we need to try to get through the chat. So did you already put your question in the?
It is in the chat.
Okay.
You just haven't gotten to it, I guess.
Yeah, we spent 5 minutes or so talking about the hard reset. Let me see if we can get through some of these. Can you use an old iPhone that has access to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth? Yes, doesn't have to necessarily be hooked to it just has to have Wi-Fi so you can get to the cloud. Does the 500 gold model have a pain program on it? I heard that it added one now. I think it has the category, but I think it only has one or possibly two of the programs, the chronic and the local, or just the chronic. I haven't had anybody confirm with me yet what that is. How can I get on the email list? Gwen, do you want to put your
I did.
Okay,
I already did.
perfect. It's Gwen
Yeah.
at gfia.net. So look through it in the chat. Okay, my watch bundle has not worked since 10/31. There's a lot of people that don't have people that have their watch bundles that are not working. They're going to have to do something, and I don't know what that looks like. So
Wait, let's explain why though, because she may not have been on the recent calls. What happened is when your watch bundle subscription expired, they didn't have the billing in the back office set up to capture your renewal, your payment for next month. So then it just ended. And I've been through, several people that so far I don't have a solution, but that's why, is because you weren't billed, your subscription ended and then it didn't charge again, because it seems like when people first get their watch bundles, they're still working new, but then they don't have a way to capture and bill you for the subsequent months, which should be on auto bill, but that part didn't get done or something.
they have made it so that you can go to your back office and you can go down to your subscriptions and you can go in and you can re-up that. I have had a person try and it didn't make a difference though. So I think we're still kind of working on all
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
They changed the credit card
Mhm.
supplier or user or whatever, and so that's when the data tripped in between the cracks.
Yep.
Yeah, we know. We're just explaining that that's the problem, is the processor did not.
Got it.
Right. I have someone purchasing tonight and wonder if we need to choose that edition program choice. So if you're buying a gold, then you do get to
Fine.
choose for
So
a
I
specific.
just want to tell you, thank God.
Wait,
There's
muting.
They're natural
Sorry.
doctors and they're in the whole Healy world.
Sorry, Maria, I muted you by accident, trying to mute other people.
Okay,
There you go.
got me. Okay, good. Okay, so if you're purchasing a gold, then you have a choice for a program. And I always tell people to look for what is it that they're going to be using that for. If do they need it for the fitness and regeneration? Do they need it for mental? The mental group is for brain chemistry. The learning is for brain activity. So you have to look at them differently. I always tell people to go get the bioenergetics 1 or 2 because those are the most expensive apps to purchase if you're going to kind of onesie twosie buy them, because they're $199 a piece. So you'll just have to decide what that person, when they're ordering it, what that person really would like. But yes, you'll have to pick one. Okay, so we got people talking about the advanced, so let's do that later. The quantum K. Okay, I'm going down further. Loved the workshop. Loved the workshop. That's where we were talking about that. Thank you, everybody. Loved the workshop. I'm yellow red. Good job. Workshop was awesome. I'm going to keep scrolling down. I bought the watch bundle, the digital nutrition. Looks like my first charge after 3 months is almost 100 versus 88. Looks like they still have my credit card information. This is reflected in my dashboard, my shop, and under subscriptions. So Brad, was the $100, was that something that you weren't expecting? Because mine, I think mine is 98 point something, $98.82 for my bundle. Was that 88 prior to your tax? That's what I'm wondering. We already talked about why you would need a second Healy. If you're lending one out, do you need to be concerned about COVID? I'm not concerned about COVID at all personally. You could wipe it down. You could do whatever you need to, but you have the bioenergetics boost in there. So you could even tell the person you're loaning it to that they could use the bioenergetic boost. Okay. Do you set up a test account for these Healys that you loan out? No, I just have them download the Pink app to their phone. And then I have them go through and find it. And then we initiate the setup part where there's the blue program, there's the one blue program, and then it says languages and settings. We hit settings and then ask for an update. It populates all of the files. They see what they have. And then when they bring it back, I have them uninstall their Pink app from the phone. Okay. My friend has not been able to use her Healy since September. Her ticket still says that it's not been answered. The issue is her Blue app no longer lets her enter clients in. Haven't heard that one. You're going to have
That
to
one's
wait on a
me.
ticket on that one.
That
Oh,
one's me. So,
okay.
it was after the update that happened, I don't know, sometime in September on the device. So I did the update and then everything worked for, I don't know, maybe a week. And then all of a sudden now on my iPad, I can't add any clients. Like the Blue app opens, I can see my list of clients, but where the plus sign is, it's scrolled up and it's tucked under. And so I can like hold my finger down and pull it down and see it. But as soon as I let go, it goes back up under and I cannot hit the plus sign to add new clients at all.
So I know that Apple and Healy did updates about the same time, and they had a lot of issues with that because of that. So have you gone into the App Store and seen if you have, and it's possible to get an update from there on your Blue app?
I did. I updated, deleted and reloaded my Blue app. I made sure both devices were updated. Like I've tried everything literally.
Have you tried it from a different device?
Yes, from my phone. But the problem is I can't use the Healy from my phone because I work from my phone.
But does it work on your phone?
It does work on my phone.
Okay, then you need to take your iPad to the Apple Store and find out how you change the dimensions of your screen, because there's something happening with however your iPad is functioning. So it's not really a Healy issue, it's a device issue at that point. If you can do it on your phone and it works fine, then we know it's not a Healy issue. It's just a device issue with however it's compatible. So I can't offer you the solution on that, but I'm sure somebody at an Apple Store could.
Okay.
Yeah, there may be a way to change the dimensions of the screen so that it doesn't react that way.
Okay. Thank
What
you.
type of Healy do you have to share? Just gold? I have all of them. We have the Holistic Health Plus, My Free Resonance. This is so cool. If you get your, like, I have the digital nutrition app and on My Resonance. And so the free resonance that we won, that one has all of my digital nutrition on it. So whoever I lend that to, when they get all of the Pink Dot apps, they get all the Healy nutrition. They get the digital nutrition, they get the heart, or the Healy Watch apps, they get everything. So they get to really see some great stuff. So that's fun, just knowing if you're going to have a free resonance coming in, you have the digital nutrition, it's going to be on that one too.
Wait, can I go back one more thing? Because I forgot. So one of my friends has also got the Healy, and she said, you didn't say about the fact that it won't sync between the two. So when I use the Healy on my phone, it will work on my phone, but it doesn't sync with my iPad.
When you use the Healy on your phone in the Pink Dot or
in the blue, in the resonance.
Okay, so you can use it there and then it doesn't sync on your iPad after that?
Correct.
Yeah, so I think there's some mechanisms in your iPad. There's a lot of people who have problems, unfortunately, with iPhones and iPads. I feel bad, but I don't know how to fix that because I think it's just how they communicate together.
Excuse me, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Maybe uninstalling the apps off the phone or the iPad completely, because I've had problems where it was running. I don't know if it wasn't recognizing. So what I did
Judy
is
said she did. I think Judy said she'd done that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you though for that. Okay. Good evening. I would love support about the blue app. It has not connected. So was that a resonance that you upgraded to? Or was it your free one? This is Roz. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I have it was what I purchased, like the whole program was included. The blue dot was included. I didn't.
So when you go in, so you purchased a resonance. And so did you download the master key and you went through that whole process? And then what did it say?
I don't know. I downloaded the app and I keep on getting, and I just upgraded to iOS 14.2 on my phone, thinking maybe that would make a difference. But this is just what shows up. It's just, now it's connecting. Up until today, it's never even said connecting. It said not connecting.
That seems like it's a device issue. I know people have had some problems with their blue apps connecting, but are you in a pretty good Wi-Fi place? Have you tried it in other areas?
No.
Yeah, I would try it in some other areas, maybe go to an office building or somewhere where you have potentially a good signal. And does anybody else have any ideas?
Okay. I'm going back to hard reset if you've not done the hard reset.
Yes. I would say do a hard reset.
Yes.
And what I tell people when they have this issue and almost always fixes it is to do the hard reset, turn the phone off or on, or check your phone for updates, uninstall and reinstall the Healy apps and check those for updates. And once everything is reset and reconnected, it seems to resolve most issues, but you have to do all three things: the apps, the Healy, and your phone.
Okay.
And
then see what happens.
Okay, so
I did the
try
reset.
that. You did
All
do
right,
the hard
thank
reset
you.
already?
I did the hard reset, yes. I'll try reinstalling the Healy app then.
Awesome.
And I'll
let
do
us
the
know.
upgrades.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Somebody is saying.
Sorry, I have a solution for the lady with the iPad and the phone that's not syncing. It's in the settings. You need to go to, in your Blue Dot app, you go to the settings and you need to make sure that the synchronization, the automatic sync button is clicked over into green. If it's not going to sync between devices.
So if she can't get to that place though, Tara, what do you recommend? Because if she can't even get into the Blue app.
I thought she said it was working on her phone, but when she opens up her iPad, it has.
Oh, different person. Sorry. I was thinking you were talking about Roz. Okay. You were talking about Judy. Okay. So say that again. That was the gal she couldn't get it to work on her iPad. So it's in the settings of the iPad?
No, it should be in the settings of her phone.
Of her phone. Okay.
That the automatic sync is clicked on there. And then once she clicks that over, it should sync all the data to her iPad.
Okay. And I think her problem was that the settings on the screen, she'd try to scroll and she couldn't click the client in because there was like I don't know if it's a banner or something.
I did that on my iPad for a little bit.
Okay.
I did uninstall the app and then reinstall it, and that seemed to help because it was weird. You're right. It was like it wouldn't let you add client. There was something in the way, but that seems to have been resolved on my end after I did a restart.
Okay, but you also had done some stuff in the settings in your Blue app as well.
Yep.
So she might need to try that as well then. Okay. Suzanne
When
says
she's
when
saying
you
restart, wait, Maria, one second. When she's saying a restart, is that a hard reset? I just want to confirm what restart means.
Usually I do a complete hard reset on the Healy, but I also uninstalled the app and reinstalled it and put in my master key and did all that over again. And then once I did all that on the iPad, I was able to add the clients again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you, Tara.
Maria?
Suzanne, yeah.
I'm sorry.
With Roz, I just want to make sure she didn't miss a step because it always, when it's scanning, will say not connecting. And if you tap the not connecting is when it connects. I want to make sure she knows that you tap that.
When you tap the not, you mean when it shows up as the serial number?
Well, just this, when the screen will always show me that not connecting and I tap it every time and then it connects. I just want to make sure she knows she just has to. When it says not connecting, do you tap it where it says not connecting? It should connect at that point.
I have a little a little dot, and it's just been going round in circles.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I appreciate your clarifying that. Thank you.
Yeah. So Gwen, when you were showing how to do the remedies and change the different focuses in there, Suzanne wanted to know, do you just take the top one that shows up, even though there are several in the chakra scan down below? You could change all of them if you want, but Gwen is really quick and easy, and she takes the first one and says, boom, we're done.
Yeah, because when you think about it, it scrolls through those equally. So if it's scrolling through those top 5, it doesn't matter which one you pick. I mean, because it's getting equal play time basically. So I just go the first one because it's going to go through all of them. It does each one for like a second or two, and then it goes to the next one. So you could delete the other ones if you want. Again, it's going to take more time, and I'm just into quick, but you could do that if you feel like you want just that one thing. You can do that.
So Deborah wants to know, with the aura scan, why does it show only 3 and not all 7? Okay, so when you go from the aura, where it shows the picture of your aura, and then you hit start analysis and it shows you all of the columns of your chakras, there's little blue check marks down below each one. It defaults to showing you which 3 chakras are the most out of balance in conjunction with your aura. But you could literally touch all of those spots and you could have all 7 of them show up, and you'd have a very, very, very long list of all the different colors of different chakras that have entered into your auric field. So you can pinpoint one and just keep one check marked, or you can check mark all of them. So just play around with that the next time that you go from the aura scan picture to the chakra scan picture, and then look for the little blue circles that have the check marks in them, and you can do all of them that you want. Are you saying that we can custom vibrate from the pink dot and blue dot apps, or only the blue dot? Thought it was only the blue dot. If you can only create custom vibrations in the blue dot, you can't do anything in the pink dot unless you're doing something external like we showed this weekend.
Well, wait, let's explain that for 1 second, because you're in the pink dot, you're doing microcurrents. You would have to, I mean, you're not just putting in a simple thing in microcurrents. You'd have to know which microcurrents, which hertz, load those. So we're not programming to that degree. In the blue dot add, you're just putting words that you're using information.
Right. You could put hertz frequencies in there if you wanted to. You know, if you knew which one you wanted to, you could put that in the blue dot and
Well,
do
and
that.
like ohms, like from the weekend, you can take your own numbers, your quantum K numbers, your GG numbers. You can put all of that in there.
Yep. You can put Bible verses. You can you can put anything in there, whatever you
Yeah.
feel is going to help you and help the person that you're doing it. You might want to mention that on the Apple, you can see the whole line and just have to delete blindly. Yes. So when you click on that space that Gwen did on she clicked the little pencil, and then when it comes up on Apple, sometimes everything that you're typing in that little screen is completely hidden. So you have to look at, the little portion of your window, and it'll show you that you're backspacing, and then it'll show you what you're typing in. On an Android, you can see the whole field, and you can see yourself backspacing and then typing in. But sometimes on the Apple, that's hidden. So you kind of have to just reroute a little bit, play around with it. You'll figure it out. Okay, can we send positive thought for sister or someone without her consent? Well, if you have her in you can always send something as far as just from your own emotional state and your own presence. If you don't have her in your Healy, it's not ethical in my mind to put somebody in without their knowledge. So you might call her and say, hey, I'd like to send you some healing frequencies in my new device. Are you okay with that? And so, because you have to put her in as a client at that point. With an Android, you download the image and it goes to the gallery. Yes, and you can also screenshot. So if you want to add vitamin C to the auric desired state, you can just add a dosage. Sure, you could just add the perfect amount of vitamin C for my physical body. Here she's saying, can you add 1,000 milligrams? You could, that would be fine. I mean, when I do blue dot vibrate, I notice the Bluetooth on the Healy and the green power LED are both flashing. Sometimes the power LED goes off. The phone is still displaying the blue dot program running. Yeah, so the green light's blinking when there's some type of transmission. The Bluetooth is just connected to the cloud and acting as the, what am I trying to say? The remote control portion.
Maria, I want to add something real quick. So I'm seeing other questions come up about this consent thing. I want to add one thing about it. There's a reason that Healy asked you the question, do you have this person's consent? Do you have their consent or not? It's a simple answer. So someone's saying, well, you can ask their higher power, their free will. I'm just going to tell you guys, if you don't have someone's permission, it's not going to work. We're not going to override someone's free will. If you have a stubborn relative who's like, no, I don't want any of that crap. Don't do anything to me. Don't think that you doing it's going to override their wishes or their desire. I do feel like when you're asking someone's higher power, I mean, don't people pray for people all the time without permission? I mean, all the time, people are probably praying for people that don't have permission. I get it. But I'm also saying if it doesn't work, just kind of keep in mind, if someone's really like, I have some family members are like that. Don't do any weird crap on me. And I'm like, okay. And I honor that. I'm not going to go take my time to do something for them when they don't want me to. Like, why would I do that? Because I'm not expecting it to even work. So don't beat your head against a wall when you're having people that don't want your help. I mean, if you ask them, they don't want your help.
Say a prayer for their most benevolent outcome, and then leave it at that, and then just send them that love. I mean, that's the best thing you can do, is send them love. But if you don't have their consent and you're putting them in, I personally wouldn't do that. In fact, Gwen's software program, it'll tell you right away, you don't do this, don't work with this person, because they're not going to be receptive to it.
I want to say one more thing, because I have daughters that I could easily go look at. It is very personal. So there's another reason why not to do it when people don't ask you. I do not ever run my daughters. I mean, they have open permission if it's like a demo, but I don't go look at their psychology. I don't go look at their stuff, because they're private. You know, it's not my business to go look at what they have going on, but they do call me and say, can you help me with this? Or can I have this going on? And sometimes something else I see comes up that's not what they're asking me help for, and then I might bring it up, I might not. But you know, this is can be a private thing, so I wouldn't intrude in people's in their private space. And I think that's what you're doing when you don't have consent. That's my personal opinion.
I can't tell if, I can't remember, Gwen, when you pulled up the house in the group, does it ask for a birthday and birthplace? I think that field is eliminated, right? Yeah, so it doesn't even ask for that. So you have to go in and kind of look at it and see what fields that it does ask for.
It might ask for year built, but you only need the picture. The picture is the key. Once you have the picture, the other stuff is bonus. You do not need them to be accurate. The picture is what matters.
Yes, the higher the percentage that shows, the more relevance it is to that you need to work on it. Someone asked about the percentages.
And I only work on for 50. If it's under 50, I don't even waste my time.
Yeah. I noticed that Gwen isn't capturing the vibration. Like she just said, the picture is enough on that. Okay, I'm seeing if there's any. Gwen, are you seeing anything else that we need to address before we?
No, but it's time. So what we can say is next week, we're going to do another one of these. We're going to take whatever we get from the week and we're going to try to share the questions that keep coming up the most. And we're going to take questions. And tonight we really have to go because we had some things to wrap up from with the workshop and we've had a long few days. So I'll send out this recording so you guys don't have to ask me. I'm going to send it out anyway the next day or two. And if you were in the workshop this weekend and you're wanting those recordings, which a lot of you are asking, you'll have those in the next 24 hours. I've just got get Maria's approval on something that, you know, we have to go back and forth a few times. So we appreciate you guys being on tonight. And there's always a lot of questions, but there's also like a lot of good feedback even from you
And
guys.
if everybody scrolls down to almost the bottom, I just put in Gwen's email address if you want to be on the newsletter to get the Zoom calls. It's now everybody's saying thank you. So it's above all the thank yous, but I did put her in there. So, okay. All right, you guys. Sorry, we don't have much more time for you tonight, but we'll do it again. We'll do it again next week.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Maria.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.